On the 24th and 25th of August AD 79, Mount Vesuvius erupted, encasing the city of Pompeii in piles of pumice and ash. Pompeii no longer existed to the human eye. It would stay hidden until nearly 1,500 years later, when Domenico Fontana accidentally uncovered a portion of it when building an aqueduct. Years would pass by, and this city, buried beneath ash, would still remain a peak interest of archaeologists around the world. Even more important about the city is the way the buildings and people perished. They were fossilized in the exact place they stood so many years ago. Pompeii provides buildings and art that no other archaeological site does, helping historians and others paint an image of Roman life. In the ancient city of Pompeii, politics were an important event in daily life. Many buildings were dedicated for political purposes, such as the Basilica and the Comitium. The basilica was constructed in the 2nd century BC and stood 2 stories high. Similar to current-day courthouses, its primary purpose was for conducting commercial transactions and administering justice. The Comitium, on the other hand, was used for court proceedings and for town hall meetings, known as contiones. This building had no roof, to follow the religious requirement of holding trials outdoors. Next to the Comitium was the Curia Chamber, where the magistrates of the Decurium, elected officials, met to debate and vote on issues. Pompeii even had a building responsible for tax records called the Tabularium. Besides its buildings, inscriptions written on them revealed that the citizens were involved in politics. Men would voice their preferences of who they wanted to vote for by publicly inscribing it. For example, found somewhere is an inscription that translates to, Vesonius Primus urges the election of Gnaeus Helvius as aedile, a man worthy of public office. Politics was not the most important factors of the people of Pompeii's lives because religion reigned supreme. In fact, in that society, law was emanated from the gods and was codified by man to carry out their divine will. Many people who held office were also related to important religious positions. The Temple of Vespasian shows how the Emperor of Rome had holy places dedicated to him. These emperors were said to be a direct descendant of Venus, a very important goddess. The importance of Venus to the people of Pompeii is seen throughout all of the city, through paintings and graffiti. The main respected god, however, was Jupiter. The Temple of Jupiter illustrates this through its grand appearance. This temple was dedicated to worship the 3 protectors of the Roman state, Jupiter, Juno, and Minerva. However, Roman gods were not the only gods worshipped by these people. The Temple of Apollo was one of the oldest cults of Pompeii. It dates back to the 6th century BC and was the main shrine until Pompeii turned into a Roman colony in 80 BC. There were also the cults of Isis and Bacchus. The cult of Isis and the cult of Bacchus worshipped at the temples named after the respective god or goddess. Both were appealing because they offered an afterlife, something humans sought after. Another type of activity the gods favored was commerce. Wealth was seen as pleasing the gods, while begging did the opposite. Images of the god of commerce, Mercury, are displayed all around Pompeii to obtain his blessing. Shops were near the Forum, where many people would shop and trade. One main staple of commerce was wine and bread. In fact, there is a petrified loaf of bread that stands to this day to represent how that product was a part of daily life. The social life of the people of Pompeii is also preserved in the ruins of the city. In the Pradia of Julia Felix, everyday life is depicted. People are selling items, people are being disciplined, and religious rituals are being done. Life is happening in the Forum, the basic urban unit that the city grew around. The amphitheater also illustrates the love these ancient people had for gladiatorial matches. Archaeologists know the use of it from inscriptions found around it. One that stands out announces the match of a total of 30 pairs of gladiators fighting on April 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th against wild beasts. The people of Pompeii also enjoyed theater in the Odeon. Here, people could enjoy lectures, poetry readings, concerts, and refined dramas. Bathhouses were also an important part of the social life. Many people would come here to bathe, exercise, and talk about what was going on. Seneca recounts the activities in a bathhouse by explaining that it is not a quiet place. There are sounds of people grunting from exercise, the sound of slapping from massages happening, people bragging about a sport, splashing from people jumping into the bath, and even the sounds of people selling items. Overall, the bathhouses were the social highlight of the town. The House of Veti is a good example of the Pompeii house and its art. The House of Veti has many interesting paintings on its wall. At the main entrance stands an image of Priapus weighing a stack of coins against his godly member. He is the god of fertility and abundance. This mural could represent how the citizens of Pompeii valued those things. Around the house are also more images of two people making love, which seems to be a casual subject matter to these people. It is said to represent the value of faithfulness and legitimate love. This house also featured rooms that were hidden away from anyone that might be invited guests. These rooms were typically the rooms of slaves, an important social class of Roman society. These slaves were subjected to caring for the family that owned them and even satisfying their sexual needs. Overall, Pompeii provides information of an ancient society that no other site can provide. As technology advances, we learn more and more about this city buried beneath the ash.